Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Cowgirl Closet podcast. I'm your host, Addy Ford. The Cowgirl Closet podcast is a worldwide branch production brought to you in part by Mule Alley. Legendary brands and trailblazing trends. Find your style on Mule Alley in the stockyards. I also want to give a huge thank you to our friends at AB Lino in downtown Fort Worth who help everyone wear their story. Today, we get to sit down with Madison Parra. She is such an inspiration to all. She is a business owner who loves everything Western and fashion. So yeah, I cannot wait for y'all to get to know her and learn a little bit more about her and her story. Madison, welcome to the Cowgirl Closet podcast. I'm so excited to have you today.
I'm so excited to be here. This is super cool. I've never really done anything like this, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love podcasting. It's awesome. Yeah. So you have such a unique name and look to yourself. Before we dive into the fashion part of things, can you maybe explain a little bit about who you are to the people who are watching?
Yeah, so my name is Madison. I also go by Wild Güerita on Instagram and all my other socials. So kind of little backstory behind that. So I grew up, I'm Hispanic. I'm half white, half Hispanic, and my grandpa, would always call me Güera, which, for those of you that don't know, it's someone that's, light complected, light eyes, light hair. So, Güera was my nickname. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? That's me. That's who I am. Like, how can I make that, cute? So I don't know. It's just like Wild Güerita. That kind of rhymes and it's cute. So that's how that came about. But I'm 24. I'm from San Antonio, Texas originally. Just moved to Fort Worth maybe a little less than a year ago, but I love it. I love it here, like the stockyards. It's so fun. There's so much to do.
I love the stockyards.
It's so fun. Like, I feel like this is definitely where I'm supposed to be. And yeah, I love it. I'm a mini Aussie mom. He's my baby. I'm like, probably have his hair on me right now. But yeah, I'm a multi-business owner. I own 4 businesses, which I'm pretty sure we'll talk a little bit more about. Yeah. But yeah, that's a little about me.
Well, awesome. So I know Silvers has a story behind it. Can you share how that nickname came about and what it represents to you now?
Yeah, so if you've seen my Instagram, it was Madison Jade Silvers. So my dad was adopted. And, later on in life, he found out who his biological father was, and his last name was Silvers. Mm-hmm. So that's our true, real last name. And I actually, it's kind of funny, but I actually had a stalker online. Yeah, if you know, you know. I had a stalker online, and I was trying to, not completely, disappear from the internet,
but hide a little bit.
But kind of, camouflage myself. So I was like, okay, Silvers, no one really knows the story behind that. Yeah. So let me try to use that to cover up a little bit. And then I actually just forgot that that's what it was online. So yeah, I changed it back to Parra.
That's so funny.
It's still me, but yeah,
that's kind of scary.
It was kind of scary just because I kind of have an idea of who it may have been. Yeah. But again, there's really no telling. There's some weirdos out there.
Yeah, I mean, social media in general is, kind of scary, but you have to be really careful.
For sure.
That's so smart, though, changing your name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
smart.
I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to go completely, MIA, because I have a following, I have friends or just people that I communicate with.
Yeah, and people who like to, keep up with you.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of hard, but
yeah,
it's okay. It's over now.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad. So growing up in Texas, what first pulled you toward Western fashion and lifestyle?
Well, I feel like, Texas girls, Texas women, we're just very distinct all, together in itself. Just the style and, yesterday I was at the state fair and there was,
I went last Friday.
Oh, cool, yeah. It was cool. It was hot, but it's fun. And there was a woman at a Walmart booth and she was like, tell me you're from Texas without telling me you're from Texas.
To you?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then she was like, girl, do a spin for me. your outfit is so cute. And I was like, thank you.
You're like, absolutely, thank you.
Yeah. And I've kind of noticed that, when I go out of town, just I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, I went to New Mexico and they were having the Indian market. Yeah. And of course, my outfits kind of speak for themselves. Yeah. And people would always ask oh, where are you guys from? And I would tell them, guess.
Just guess. Just guess. Take a wild guess.
Texas every single time. Yeah, and I just, you know, we have our own kind of style, and it
We really do,
stands
yeah.
out. Yeah, so that's
So
where that came from.
growing up, were you always involved in like the Western industry and stuff like that, or no?
Sort of, kind of. So like I said, I'm from San Antonio. Right outside, like 30 minutes, there's a town. It's called Bulverde, and kind of like the Stockyards, they have a rodeo every weekend. And I went to high school out there for a little bit, and so that's how I found that place.
Yeah.
And so me and my friends, we would literally, I would be like, "Mom, can you take us to Tejas Rodeo?" Like,
Yeah.
that was the
Like
go-to
what you did?
hangout, spot. And ever since then, like I fell in love with, you know, the whole rodeo scene and just, you know, the Western industry and everything that comes along with it. And I was kind of sad that I wasn't brought up, you know, in that lifestyle and just culture, because it's a whole culture of its own, you know.
It really is.
Yeah, and, you know, my parents are city slickers.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, like my dad, his mom actually, she named him after her first pair of cowboy boots. His name is Justin.
Cute. Wait, that's cute.
Yeah. So I feel like it's in my blood, you know, but just like my parents, they weren't really super involved with it. But I was like, okay, well, I don't know. That's what just, I don't know if that's what I
was
love.
gonna say, like, that's really interesting to me because your style is so like kind of spot on Western, like punchy Western. I seriously love it so much. I just didn't, that's interesting. I just didn't really know like how, you know, your style has changed, you know, throughout the years, or if like from like being a toddler, if you dress like, or if your parents dressed you.
Definitely. So my grandpa is actually from Amarillo. And, you know, he was born and raised there, and he moved to San Antonio, met my grandma, and I remember like we would take trips and we would stop at the Palo Duro Canyon. So I literally, just the other day, I came across a picture of me, and I'm probably like, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, and I'm there with my cowgirl hat.
You're like,
and my little Louis Vuitton purse, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, this is definitely, I guess, they tried. You know, they tried. My family tried to, you know, keep that culture alive. I think it was probably more so my grandpa than anything, but yeah, I mean, the pictures are there. I don't really quite remember, but I do remember, you know, the little shooting gun show at Palo Duro Canyon and just those little trips. But
I've only been up there once, and it's so dusty.
It is.
I went to school in Lubbock at Texas Tech, so
okay, cool.
That's kind of why I'm familiar with it.
But,
you know, I think you nailed your style and like what really screams you. You dress so cute. I'm obsessed.
Thanks. My whole thing is like comfort. Like, comfort.
For sure. When did you start realizing that what you wore could also tell your story?
So my story, you know, I just tried to stay true to who I am and what I like. And like I said, comfort is a big thing for me. And, you know, like if I'm not comfortable or if I don't think the outfit's cute, like I'm not gonna wear it. You know, I'm not gonna wear it. But a lot of my family and a lot of my friends tell me, like, you know, we'll be out shopping or anywhere, and they'll be like, "That's so you," and I'm like, "Okay, what does that mean?
What does that mean?"
Yeah, what does that mean? And
anything that like kind of looks crazy, all my friends are like, "That's so you." I'm like, "Do I really dress that?"
That's what. So I'm like, whatever that means, like, that's so you. I guess I don't know. You're gonna run with it. Yeah, somehow, some way. But I think it's cute. I love when people tell me that. I take it as a compliment for sure.
So bouncing off of that, how would you describe your style in like 5 words?
5 words.
Or let's say 3 words.
3. Okay. So we'll say comfortable.
Yep.
For sure. Classy. I feel like I'm pretty modest with what I wear. You know, I'm not one of those that's, you know, showing skin. Like I always find myself covered up or like layering. So layering, like layers, that could be my 3rd word. Which was funny because I was trying to figure out what to wear today. And I was like going through my Instagram. I'm like, okay, what can I wear? Like, and I just noticed this last night. I was like, I always wear layers. Like I'm always layering stuff.
Layers is so cute though.
It's so cute. And you
nailed your outfit today.
Thank
you. Look
great. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So has your style always been bold, or did it evolve with confidence over time?
So it's definitely evolved.
Yep.
It's always been a little bold and, you know, kind of out there, super Western. I remember like back in my Tejas rodeo days, I was wearing like the beaded headbands and
Oh
like
my
the
gosh, yes.
serape, like the moccasin Minnetonka.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's never really been normal, you know, like normal fashion, but it's definitely evolved since then. Don't get me wrong, I still love beaded, native beaded work and moccasins, but just in a different kind of way.
Yeah. Do you remember an outfit or a moment that made you feel like you'd found your look finally? Like you're like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah, so probably at NFR.
Are you going this year?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
It's like in the works. It's not a for sure thing. It's because I have a lot of pop-up events that are around the same time. So if I can convince my mom to run one for me, which she will, then I'll head out there for a couple of days. But so it would be at NFR, and there are so many like great outfits. Like it's what it is.
The Super Bowl of Western fashion.
Exactly. And I remember it was, oh man, I didn't even like think it was that great of an outfit. It was just kind of like a last minute, deal. And I got so many compliments that day. And I remember like there was this girl and she was like, out of all the outfits I've seen, like yours is the cutest. And I was like, oh my God, like that
I'm going to
so
take that and run with it.
Yeah, I was like, that means so much to me considering like you said, it's the Super Bowl of just Western fashion.
Yeah.
And so that definitely like made me feel special.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope that, continues to happen to you because that's a moment that you truly are just like, yes.
For sure.
I did it.
For sure. I did it.
So Western fashion obviously has exploded in recent years. How have you seen it change and where did you fit into that story?
So that's a little tough, but kind of going along with what I just said, it's evolved. And I feel like maybe not all of us, but most of us started with that, beaded serape fringe, and I feel like it's evolved more into like classy. I've heard a lot of like Ralph Lauren, type of looks and styles, neutrals, and I've seen a lot of like the horse bit or horse tack, jewelry, and I love that. And everyone has their own
like niche
sense of style and what makes them stand out. Like looking at these neon hats, I think of like Neon Wrangler, and her outfits are so cute, like super cute. Not stuff that I would go to, but seeing it on her, she pulls it off in such a perfect way. And then, or like Brianna Purvis, I take a lot of inspiration from her. I think she is so beautiful. Her outfits are so cute and classy. And like, I feel like our styles are very similar. But comparing her to Neon Wrangler, like those are two totally different, styles. Yeah. And they're so cute. Like, and that's the thing about Western fashion is that there's no limits.
There's none at all. Absolutely none.
None. And you can take something that is not Western at all and make it look Western. Yeah, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was just like, it's so amazing too, because like, say, I don't know, like one girl's super punchy, one girl's super classy, like the Ralph Lauren look that you're talking about. She could throw on a blazer and look amazing, and I don't know, like you can really just do anything, and I think it's so incredible. Yeah, I love it.
It is. I do too.
And it's so fun. Like it's so fun.
Yeah.
So when did you realize people were paying attention to your outfits and your posts and you were just kind of getting this attention for like how you dressed?
So the NFR moment, that was a big moment for me. And then just kind of posting on social media, and watching my following grow and my audiences grow on all of my social platforms, really, and it really just takes like one TikTok to blow up, and people are like, oh, like this girl, stands out, or, we have similar styles, or they just relate to you in some sort of way, whatever way, that is. But I think that's cool. And that's kind of what happened with me is I had a TikTok and it was just like OTD and it blew up and I was like, okay, like people like my outfits.
That's so fun.
That was a moment for me for sure.
Yeah. You've been featured in Cowgirl Style Magazine's NFR edition. What was that experience like and what did it mean to you personally?
Yeah, so it was super cool. It was actually, I moved back from Alaska. I was in Alaska for a year. super cold.
I bet.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Like, I miss being home. I miss Texas. So I had just moved back, like, I think maybe the month before. And
what year was this?
This was 2021.
Okay.
2021, yeah. And I had just moved back, and I was like, that's when I got the news that I was going to be featured, you know, in the NFR magazine. And so, you know, living out of state, sad but true, I didn't really stay in contact with, you know, my friends, and, you know, life happens, and I was just kind of, you know, me and my family, that was my little clan, you know, still is. And so I was like, dang, like, I really want to go to NFR. I don't want to go by myself.
Yeah, I don't want to go alone.
I don't really talk to anyone, so, like, who can I go with? And I was like, Mom.
Mom, come with me.
Yeah, so I went with my mom and my aunt, and it was just us three, and that is by far the best NFR trip I have ever had, and I go every year, and that was the most fun. And just, I remember first we went to Cowboy Christmas, and we couldn't find the magazines there, and so we went to, I think it was like Rio, and we went to all the little shopping exhibits, and we couldn't find it, and then finally we found it. And I was just like, I ran, and my mom grabbed like a huge stack. Yeah, I was like, girl,
that's
like,
such a mom thing to do.
Yeah, I was like, your luggage, they're gonna charge you extra because it's gonna be heavy. Yeah. And I just remember like, you know, flipping through the pages trying to find it, and my hands were shaky, and
you're like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah, I find it, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that's me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, my legs are so white. Like, I should have tanned.
You're joking. That's like what you thought about
That's
oh
what
my
I
gosh.
thought. That was like my first thought. I was like, oh my gosh, like, my legs look so white. Like, I look so pasty.
That's so funny.
But like, overall, I was in awe. You know, I didn't really have words. I was just like, besides me being white.
Yeah.
But I thought it was super cool. And we took an Uber back to, I don't know, wherever we went next. And my mom, you know, being a mom, she's like, yeah, like, she came out in this magazine, blah, blah, blah.
Talking to the Uber and stuff?
Yeah, and so he asked me for my autograph.
You're joking.
Yeah, and I took a picture with him. I still have it on my phone, and I was like, to Nelson, shout out to Nelson. I was like, to Nelson,
my
like,
first ever autograph.
10 out of 10 Uber, like, blah, 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 and I signed it, and he kept it.
Wait,
like,
but that's so cool that happened to you, and I bet that was so, like, a life-altering moment.
It was, yeah, because that had never obviously happened to me before, and I was like, okay, like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like, I think that's when it really hit me, like, okay, like, you're in this magazine, like, anybody can pick this up and look through it, and like,
they're gonna see
that's
you.
me. And it wasn't even about me, but it was about like my boutique, like, that's my business that I have built, you know. And so that was definitely like a very proud moment for me.
No, that's awesome. That's a awesome story. Coming into this, I did not know that had happened. We didn't touch base on that before, but yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
So what does it take, in your eyes, I guess I should say, to stand out in a world that's suddenly full of rhinestones, fringe, and cowboy boots?
Just be you. Be authentic. You know, don't try to fit in. You know, that's how you stand out, is just being true to yourself and true to your style. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it takes time to figure out what that is. I'm still trying to figure out who I am and what my style is every day, you know? And it's evolves. I look at my closet, you know, I have items from last year, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what was I thinking buying this? Or like, what was I thinking wearing that, you know? So it's just part of growth. And I think that just staying true to yourself is the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So bouncing off of that, how do you define authenticity when it comes to style?
Like I said, just being you. Just being you. Don't try to copy anyone, you know, just because, and I've found that that's common, is just because someone has a large following, you know, there's people that go and try to wear the exact same thing or recreate the exact same post that person did because it blew up for them. Yeah. You know, and they want it to blow up for themselves. And that's not how you do it. Yeah. You know, people follow you because they feel that you're genuine and you are you. And, you know, that's just, part of being authentic. And
I kind of feel like I know the answer to this question, but do you ever feel pressure to keep up with trends or what's in, what's out, all the things, especially like being a boutique owner?
For sure. Yeah. So just personally, yes. But most of the time you'll catch me like in my comfy little hobo outfit.
Yeah.
So, but definitely, boutique wise. Yeah. And I spend a lot of time at Dallas Market because that is where it's at. You know, if you're going to find any sort of upcoming trend, that's where you're going to find it. But I feel like I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like a gift that I have. I feel like I've always kind of been ahead of the trends.
Yeah.
So like last year for NFR, that was me. I was wearing the horse bit tack, you know, stuff. And to see that it's really big this year, I'm like, okay.
Like, yeah, I did that. I was on top of it.
Yeah. But I feel like it's always kind of been like that for me. And I'm thankful that I have that little gift. But again, trends are unpredictable. Things change. You know, one day it's cool, the next day it's not. So yeah, it's always evolving.
Yeah. At what point did your personal style turn into your first business idea?
So my first business idea. So me starting my boutique was a little different. So I actually worked at a really big Western store and I was 16 years old and I was like, you know what? Like I can do this.
100%.
I could do this. And coming from a family of entrepreneurs, like everyone in my family owns a business, but I never felt like pressured. They weren't like, you have
to be a business owner.
Yeah, they're super supportive.
And now look at you have 4.
Right, yeah, they're like, you know, if you want to do this for work, okay, great. Like if you want to work for this person, okay, great. Like if you want to own a business, great. Like, yeah, whatever you want to do. So I'd never felt pressured to really start my business. It was just more of like a self, you know, thing. Like I could do this. Like, why am I working here when I could do this for myself? So I took my little $200 16-year-old paycheck and I ordered my first little inventory order. And that's how I started. In San Antonio, there was a Sam Moon, which I'm pretty sure
I was at
knows.
Sam Moon last Friday.
Yes.
Or no, last week sometime.
I love Sam Moon.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too. So I would go to Sam Moon. Oh, I would have my mom drive me to Sam Moon. And I would take pictures of the accessories, purses, whatever, you know, they had that I thought was cute. Mm-hmm. And I would post pictures and try to sell them. Yep. Like pre-order, you know, and if someone would want to buy it from me, I would make my mom drive me back to Sam Moon.
You would buy it.
I would buy it and then ship it out to them. And so that was just like my 16-year-old.
I was gonna say, because you were 16.
Mind, trying to figure out like, okay,
like how do you be a salesperson?
Right, like this is what I want to do, but how am I gonna do it? Like, and I wanted to do it on my own. You know, I didn't want to be like, Dad, Mom, you know, Grandma, can you help me out with some money? Like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to build it just on my own. Yeah. And of course I had limitations at the time, you know, just not even being able to drive was one all in itself. But that, you know, that's how I started. And
it's truly so inspiring too, that you did start and you were such a hard worker and so mind driven at the age of 16. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the Rhinestone Rose TXs. Yeah. What inspired it and how does it reflect your own personality?
So everything that goes into it is so me.
so me.
So me. And I feel like when I first started, I would only buy things that I liked, that I thought was cute, you know? And just maturing mentally, I've learned that that's not the way to do it, you know? Because just because I think something's cute, the rest of the world may not think it's cute. Right. Or just because I think it's ugly, you know, everyone else might love it. Yeah. And so that's definitely been like a learning experience, adapting to that and ordering stuff that's like, okay, like it's not my favorite, but that's what's hot and trending right now. But I do try to keep it true to myself and things that I would wear. Just because like, how am I going to try to sell you something that I don't think is
sellable?
Right. Yeah. Right. And I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, that's so cute on you. When I'm like,
never you're like, okay, I actually just don't really like that.
So, you know, and I don't ever want to be that person or come off like you
fake
know,
almost.
Fake. Yeah. Not genuine. So everything that I sell and everything that I do with my business, I try to just keep true to myself and
Awesome.
You're going to really like the new Fort Worth Stockyards app. It's everything you need right at your fingertips. See what's happening in real time, which means you'll never miss another cattle drive, happy hour, sidewalk sale, or your favorite band again. You can also use the app to buy show tickets, pay for parking, reserve a table, and even book a room. So saddle app, y'all. It's free, it's fun, it's the Stockyards. Download the app today at the Apple Store or Google Play.
All right, Madison, so let's talk about Rowdy Vaquero. That kind of feels, at least to me, like edgier. What was that an outlet for a different side of you? Or can you explain kind of,
Definitely,
what it
yeah.
means?
So my Rowdy Vaquero, that's more of like I don't want to say it's like created for men because it's created for everyone, but it is directed more towards my manlier, rugged, type of audience and customer.
Rugged's a good word to use.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, and that's what I'm trying to reflect in everything that comes out of it. But I do pop-up events for my boutique, and I noticed that there's a lot of couples, and the wife goes in to shop, and the
man's probably just sitting there
he's
waiting.
just sitting there, yeah. And I noticed that, and I was like, okay, like, not that I felt bad for him just standing there, but I was like, okay, this is kind of like a missed business opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she could be shopping on this side, and he could be shopping on that side. And starting off through my boutique, I would order from other Western manlier brands, but they just weren't doing it for me.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they have great products. I'll always support those businesses, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. And I was like, okay, like, I can't find this anywhere. Like, I'm gonna just, here we go, business number 2. Like, here we go, let's do it. And so all the designs are made or drawn, created by me. All the products are, go
That's so
through
awesome.
me. Yeah. And so I just came out with this line, and it is like button-ups and polos, and literally every single detail is designed and created by me.
That is,
And
I didn't know that coming into this.
Yeah, like, and my family, because my boyfriend, he rodeos. So I'm like, okay, put this shirt on. Like, tell me what you would change. Tell me what you love.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell me what you hate. Tell me everything.
Yes, good, bad, ugly. Like, tell me everything, what you think about this product. My dad, he is like working on roofs all day, every day. So I'm like, okay, here, polo. Like, tell me what you love. Tell me what you would change. My grandpa's a truck driver. So he's like, okay, like, here, is this comfortable? Like, do you love it? Do you hate it? And so it literally goes not only through me, but
through a line of people that are helping you.
Yeah, and people that I love and trust, and that have no filter.
Yeah. That's so cool too, that you have those people who are there to support you and help you and help you succeed in this business that not many other people, are doing. Like I said, like I didn't know that you designed all this, created it all. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I remember when I first started that whole line and brand, I was literally printing shirts, and pressing them in my kitchen. Like, the hats, I was pressing them, in my mom's kitchen. So it's definitely come pretty far. And this is just the beginning for that whole brand. I have a lot of exciting stuff with that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's come pretty far, and I'm excited to see where it heads.
Yeah, that's so exciting. So let's talk about Silver Saddle Jewelry Co. That's a tongue twister. When you think about Silver Saddle Jewelry Co. and Ranch Girl Beauty Co., how do those pieces complete your overall vision and Western lifestyle?
Yeah, so Silver Saddle Jewelry Co.
You say that so much better than me.
I mean, it's my business, so I kind of have to.
Silver Saddle.
Don't get me wrong. Like you said, it's a tongue twister.
It's
but
such a cute name. I love it.
Thank you. So I actually have a ring, and it's a silver saddle. And that was probably one of my first, like, pricier, native made, like, pieces when I was just, because of course I started off with the plastic and, the faux Navajo pearls. And of course that's how I started off. But, as I learned and educated myself and just, had enough money to buy those pieces, I was like, okay, like, this is the real deal. Like, this is where it's at. And so that's where the name came from, was my very first like native made piece. It's a silver saddle ring, which I should have wore it today, but I didn't.
That's so cute.
So that's where the name came from. And everything that I sell there is native made. You know, I go to New Mexico, I meet with native artists, and just the stories that they have behind these pieces and just their thought process, you know, when creating them, it just makes them so much more beautiful. And just knowing, you know, like their hands made these pieces, it's just awesome.
Yeah, that's inspiring for sure.
Yeah. And then my ranch girl beauty. So I actually went to cosmetology school.
Okay.
So I started a business at 16, and then I graduated high school early. So my mom was like, okay, like.
You seem like the girl who graduated high school.
Yeah, yeah. So my mom was like, okay, well, like, you have your business thing, but like, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my business, it wasn't just boom, pop in, like orders flying in.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it was a baby business.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, like, what are you going to do? Like, you need to figure it out. You're not going to just sit here. So I was like, okay, like, Cosmo school. So I did that. I fell in love with the beauty industry and everything that comes along with it. During that whole thing, you know, Cosmo school, you're experimenting with hair colors and haircuts.
All the things, yeah.
All the things. So I was like, okay, lashes. Let's try like lash extensions. So I found this girl on, I think, Marketplace.
Yeah.
I went to her house. Anyways, long story short, it turned out horrible. All of my lashes were like glued together and clumps, and it hurt. And I was like, okay.
You're like,
So yeah, I had to get them removed. And then after that, I didn't have any lashes. So I was like, okay, boom. That's when like strip lashes came into my life.
Yeah.
And after that, that was it. I was like, okay, if I don't have strip like lashes on, that's it. Like I look
That's
naked.
it.
I'm dead. I look half dead. So that's,
a bunch of girls say that.
yeah. So I was like, okay, boom, another business. Like I'm gonna start selling strip lashes and beauty products. You know, like why not?
Yeah.
So that's how that came to life.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And like even to think about something like that, like you can tell that you were just so business oriented. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
So across all 4 of your brands, what's the common thread that ties them back to Madison Parra herself?
So they all have like a little Western, you know, touch to them. Even my beauty, Ranch Girl Beauty. And if you go to the website, Instagram, you can see like the bio, and I'm like, you know, from rodeos to a night out dancing, like they're made to, you know, last through anything whether that's sweating, barrel racing, roping, ranch work, you know, because there's some cowgirls that like to look good.
Sure. A bunch of my friends are like just like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna look their best at a rodeo. For
right.
Sure.
Yeah. And so all of my little collections, even through lashes, they all kind of represent, you know, I have like a rodeo collection. They're all named after like big rodeos, like, you know, I don't know, what's the one in Wyoming?
Wyoming.
There's like Cheyenne Frontier Days, and then I have like Pendleton, Oregon Rodeo.
Yeah.
So they're all the styles are named after like rodeos.
Yeah.
So that's my little touch on
That's cool.
that,
And
but
I love
yeah.
to like all of your brands, you know,
Thank you.
keep, you know, the Western industry tied into them because that is just, you know, who you are. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned to me earlier that faith plays a big role in your life. How has that shaped your journey as a businesswoman and a creative?
For sure. Yeah. Faith is everything to me. You know, I find myself praying over everything, whether I'm like, okay, ordering inventory, I'm like, please God, like, you know, let the people love this. Or, you know, every time I have an event, I'm like, please, Jesus, like, let this go well for me. You know, like, it's hot out here.
Please don't
please let it be worth it. You know, I find myself praying over everything. And I think that it's important because times aren't always like sunshine and rainbows. You know, it gets tough sometimes. And I have periods where I don't sell anything. Mm-hmm. Events aren't going well. You know, my creative thoughts just hopped on a bus and left. Like, they're gone. I'm having brain farts, you know, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Let me calm down. Let me, you know, just think and go back to like my roots kind of, you know, not only just like personal, like where I came from, but like where I started, you know, in every single business. Like, okay, why did I start? You know? And, you know, I have to take a minute to just get back in that mindset, you know? And like I said, prayer and God, you know, he shines his little light. He's like, okay, girl, your brain farts, be gone. So I think faith it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you face self-doubt or burnout, kind of what you were just talking about, what pulls you back in?
My family has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Too. I have a very supportive family. My mom is my BFF for life.
So is mine. Shout out our moms.
Yes, mom. And my little sister too. We're like total opposite. She's not Western country. I don't even think she owns a pair of boots. And
wait, that's kind of funny. That's kind of how my brother is.
Yeah.
I think he might own one pair.
Yeah.
And like he used to be out on the farm working in the mornings before school, but God forbid he show it. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, people know, but sorry, that was so sidetracking.
No, that's so cute because that's how we are. Like we're total opposites. Like our attitudes are totally different. Our personality, style, everything is totally different. But she does help me out, and I'll like send her, you know, pictures of inventory, and I'm like, okay, girl, like, is this cute or not?
And from someone who like doesn't dress like that, it is good to have that input too.
Yeah, and my mom is the same way too. And I'll, you know, group chat. I'm like, okay, girls, like, is this cute or not? And they'll be like, yes, like super cute. Like my sister was like, what? Like that's giving scarecrow. And I'm like, okay, but like cute scarecrow.
Wait, how old is your sister again?
She is 19.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's, you know, she don't care. She has no filter.
Yep.
And I'm her sister, you know? So even more of a reason for her to be like brutally honest with me. But I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So they definitely help me, you know, when I am feeling burnt out, or I'm like, hey girl, like I need ideas for reels or posts, or, you know, what's going on. Like, can you make one for me? I'll send you $20.
I'll send you $20.
Yeah. And then like you said too, like them having different styles, it helps so much.
It gets that outsider's perspective.
Yeah. And it's definitely helped my boutique grow as well. Just because like my mom, she helps me with my events. Yeah. And she, like I said, she's not Western at all. Yep. She doesn't even own a pair of boots either. And so helping me, I'd be like, let's try to wear stuff that I'm selling. You know, it helps sell. And my mom's like, okay, well, like, I'm not a cowgirl. Like, I'm not Western. Yeah. And so that really kind of opened my eyes. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You're right. Yeah. So, like, you know, maybe there's people that have style like you, and they come to my booth, and they can't find anything that they like that, you know, fits their closet. And so that definitely helped me. And I'm like, okay, like, help me.
Well, hey, shout out your family. Like, that's awesome.
For sure.
What does confidence look like to you? Not just in style, but in life.
Confidence. It's everything. It's everything, really. You know, like I said earlier, you can catch me in my hobo outfits, you know, but just having that confidence, like a smile, really, you know, a smile is confidence all in itself. And again, tying back to what I said earlier, just being authentic and being you, like, I feel like you're most confident when you're yourself, you know? And if you're trying to be something else, you're not gonna feel
you need to be authentically you.
Yeah, and that's gonna reflect in your everything, your attitude, you know, what you do in your life, everything. So again, just tying back to just being you, like that's what confidence is. Yeah. Yeah.
Who or what keeps you inspired when things get tough?
God. Again, my family. There's times where I just find myself scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, you know, trying to see what's cute and what's trending and what's hot, and trying to find motivation. You can find anything on the internet now. You know, you
really can, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and it's not hard to find like some sort of motivation through that, you know? Yeah. And even when I'm posting, whether that be for my businesses or just personally, like, I'm like, okay, like, I hope someone gets some sort of inspiration or motivation, you know, from my posts, like, even if it's just a thought or idea.
And it will be, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you don't know what people are saying, like, behind a screen, or, like, you don't know exactly who you're inspiring, but it's definitely happening. Yeah. I mean, look at you, girl.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, I think motivation, it comes from, there's so many sources for for that. But it's
Yeah.
everywhere. Just
It
gotta
really
look
is.
for it. Yeah.
So what's next for you personally or professionally? Are there any launches or dreams that you want to share or can share that's coming up?
Yeah. So my boutique, Rhinestone Rose, I get weekly drops, or I try to keep it weekly. So there's new stuff coming in every week. Try to keep it fresh, cool, trendy. My Rowdy Vaquero, that I have a lot coming up with that. So I started that in 2024.
Yeah.
But I didn't really focus on it the way I probably should have and the way that I am now.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now is like, boom, it's about to blow up. So there's a lot of exciting stuff and I don't want to share all of it, but
Wait, that's so good. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. But just following the Facebook and Instagram, that's the best way to keep up with all of that. And there's so much going on. So
do you want to share your like Instagram and stuff?
Yeah. So everything is Rowdy Vaquero, just at Rowdy Vaquero. Facebook is Rowdy Vaquero Hat Co. The Rhinestone Rose TX. That's pretty much everything. Facebook, website, Instagram, all that good stuff. Everything is pretty much as it is. Yeah.
Well, good to know.
Yeah.
So how do you hope your story influences other women in the Western space?
So I think just do it. Like if you have the thought or the idea, like, oh, I want to start a business, I think just do it. You know, if you're like, I want to be an influencer, you know, I get compliments on my outfits all the time. Like, just do it. Just do it. That's my advice to everyone. Just do it. Like, but in a responsible way, you know, like, especially if you're wanting to start a business, don't just like, okay, like, I'm going to spend all my money starting this business. Definitely like take time to try and plan it out, but don't think on it too much because that's when, you know, you're like, oh, like, am I making the right decision? Like, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Like my mom
even
said,
if you are 16, like Madison.
Yeah. Like my mom said, she was like, bite the bullet, but don't swallow it. And I'm like, that's
smart.
Perfect. Yeah.
I've never heard that. I'm
I know,
start
me
using
neither.
it.
And I was like, okay, mom, like that's perfect. That's exactly what I like needed. But yeah, I think just do it and don't look back. But do it responsibly.
Yeah. When you picture the future of Western fashion, what do you want your role to be in it?
Well, I want people to look at me and feel, like I just said, you know, motivated, inspired. I want them to see my hustle and grind, you know, whether that's, you know, at my events or it's kind of behind the scenes, you know. I want them to look at that and appreciate that and get some sort of inspiration from that and, you know, be like, okay, like if she could do it at 16, like I can do it at 16, I could do it at 30, I could do it at 50, I could do it at whatever age, you know, because obviously age didn't hold me back a lot. I'm not going to say hold me back at all.
Yeah.
It didn't hold me back, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
And
minor setbacks.
yeah,
but,
minor
look where
setbacks.
you are now.
Exactly. And I think,
Well, Madison, thank you so much for coming and being an amazing co-host. I have enjoyed listening to your story and learning more about you. Again, we chatted before this, but we didn't really go into detail. And I think what you're doing is amazing. You're so inspiring. And yeah, I just really want to wish you good luck in the future.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. I think what you're building here is awesome. It's just, you know, like a safe zone, home base for just strong, you know, influential women. And I love that. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much,
It was
Madison.
so much fun.
Well, once again, Madison, thank you so much for joining us and being an amazing co-host on the Cowgirl Closet podcast. It was so great getting to know you and learn a little bit more about your story. Once again, this is the Cowgirl Closet podcast, a worldwide wrench production brought to you in part by Mule Alley. You can explore Mule Alley's curated collections of tastemakers, artisans, and trailblazers from anywhere. Simply download the free Fort Worth Stockyards app at the Apple Store or Google Play. Lastly, I want to say thank you to AB Lino. We could not have done this episode without our friends here at AB Lino, who let us film in their beautiful custom clothing boutique in downtown Fort Worth. Thank you, AB Lino, for helping everyone wear their story. Until next time, I'm Addy Ford, and I'll see you where the ranch meets the runway.